going through a spiritual awakening. First of all, biggest dark night of the soul, spiritual awakening, reconnecting to who I am. And now the fuel is from soul.
Hello, my chicken nuggets. I just want to say thank you so much for listening. I am forever grateful that you are here. Whether you are listening or watching, please hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button so that you are up to date with the latest episodes of What She Needed podcast. Thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and dive in.
Welcome.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so happy you're here.
I'm excited for this new podcast.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be so good. For the people listening that don't know who you are, which is like, how can they not know who you are?
I'm not that important.
That's not true. Tell them what they can learn from you. Tell them what they can learn from you.
Sure. So mainly what I help women with is visibility on social media. So I work primarily with heart-led entrepreneurs. So any woman that really wants to make a difference in other women's lives, whether that's in breathwork, nutrition, healing, whatever it might be, I help them get visible on social media. So that combines obviously the strategy around messaging, planning content, the psychology of hooking attention, growing an audience, but also the inner work as well, because as you know from working with clients, you can have all the strategy in the world, but if you have subconscious blocks around visibility, you have, dysregulation that occurs, it's really difficult to get out of your way. So I specialize in both.
I love it. And she does specialize in both. Yeah. So Christina, for those of you listening or watching, Christina created her, the online course industry. I think you will say this too, even though it's like a big statement, you were one of the very first course creators. When you started
courses. Yes.
You started creating courses,
and
I remember we had just become friends, and I started creating courses, but you were you had already created the boot camp, the influencer boot camp. Yeah, it was a version of you, that I knew that existed. That business at the time really worked for you,
totally,
because we know everything. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but how did that switch happen, right? How did you create? I think a lot of people struggle with this. I personally, this.
Yeah.
How do you pivot from where you were, letting go of that, and then the next version of you and what's calling in?
So basically, for those that don't know, I had an online course business for the last 10 years. I think I created my first course in 2018. It was definitely, if not the first influencer course, one of them, how to be an influencer course. So from there, I created 2 other online courses that between the 3 of them scaled that to over $13 million in sales, had a team of 15 systems. It was a very big business. And I'm so grateful for it, because then fast forwarding to this period where I didn't really know what I wanted to do, shifting what I was passionate about, it definitely financially provided for me. It's given me a lot of security in that sense. And I changed a lot of lives, which I feel really good about.
Yeah.
But essentially, I think that a lot of my motivation behind building that business was from a place of ego. I enjoyed what I was doing for a lot of it, but the fuel behind it was very much an energy of proving myself, of I'm enough because I've created this business, because I make this money, because I have, X, Y, and Z credential.
Totally.
That's why I'm worthy. And then I think it was starting probably at this point, 3 years ago, I started to feel this internal dissonance, because I wasn't really excited about what I was doing. And I got really lucky with the kind of business I had, that all the sales were passive, just the way that I had set it up.
Yeah.
And online course space has changed so much, and I needed to do more organically on social media to promote, and I just couldn't make myself do it. I didn't care. And I was why don't I care? Why, what do I care about? What am I passionate about? And kind of ignored it for a bit, because it was golden handcuffs.
Right.
And as life tends to do,
yeah.
when you ignore a gut feeling of something being wrong, I just had a number of life situations happen at once, a breakup, a lot of things in the business fell apart. Geographically, I was just a mess. It was kind of the rug was pulled out from under my feet in multiple aspects.
Yeah.
And that was the moment where I was something's not working.
Yeah.
So then it set me off on the last year and a half of my life, which has been really going through a spiritual awakening, first of all, biggest dark night of the soul, spiritual awakening, reconnecting to who I am. And now the fuel is from soul.
Yeah.
Because so much of like awakening is really, it's a dissolving of your ego.
Totally. Yeah.
And of what's actually driving you. And but now it's really beautiful because I feel like I have this really clean burning fuel. So I still like talking about social media strategy, but it's from a place of the people I want to serve, I feel like are truly making a difference.
Totally. Yeah.
And it just like when you operate from soul, everything just flows so much easier.
Yeah. I'm smiling for those of you watching the video. I'm smiling when she's talking because I can literally remember all the facets of Christina while this was happening. And I mean, I remember when you were like, way before your spiritual awakening, the online business was just like, you were like, I don't know, it doesn't feel aligned, but it was easy. And so you kept going.
Yeah.
And then, and for people listening, can you tell us what was your spiritual awakening? When you say dark night of the soul, how would you describe that?
Yeah. So I believe that the relationship I was in and the breakup that I was in was meant to happen.
Yeah.
And it was I'm sure people listening have been through breakups like this that just like dissolve you.
Yeah.
Jen was there with me. I was not well. I was not well.
She was not well.
Not well.
I was worried about her for
yeah.
sure.
I think like when you have moments like that, it could be grief, it could be losing somebody,
Totally.
it could be a divorce. When you have moments in life like that really, really, truly break you.
Yeah.
I think our automatic reaction is to distract and numb and not feel it and suppress the emotions. And I was so broken that I couldn't really do any of that. Like I just had to I just knew intuitively I have to fucking like sit in the darkness of this.
Yeah.
And when I did that, it was also the time when I asked God for help for the first time in my life because I didn't understand like why I was being put in that much pain. I went through this weird journey of like all of this, everything I've suppressed ever in my life just came up for me to feel and face. So for like 6 months, do you remember this? I was crying like multiple times a day.
Yeah.
It was grief, of course, but it was like old stuff coming up. I was seeing things about everything in my life that was just like, oh my God, you've built like this is like the foundation sand of who you are.
Yeah.
Like you're not like on a stable foundation with who I, like my sense of self.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was like all this dark, like just stuff kept coming up. And then I had a really crazy Kundalini awakening experience. We don't have to, if we want to go into that, you can. But I had a really crazy Kundalini awakening experience, which essentially, I explain it as like, there's multiple ways that somebody can spiritually awaken.
Right.
There's, reading about it and like kind of conceptually understanding the nature of the universe. There's psychedelics, which put you in touch with like God and whatever. And then there's an energetic awakening.
Yep.
And I had an energetic awakening. And that fundamentally transformed me at like a cellular level. Like truly there is before and after Christina in terms of the way that I like navigate life. It was the weirdest thing. So anyway, after my Kundalini awakening, a lot of people told me now anything that's inauthentic about your life will have to burn. And yeah, that's what happened.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Long road. It's so interesting because I feel like when you go through those points of your life of like you're starting to see the way you just said it right now where you were like it feels like my life was built on sand. And I have not heard that because it's very true. Like I feel like when I've gone through dark nights of the soul, it feels like there's a mirror that comes up and you see everything. Like you can't hide from it. No. You're like, the characters of the movie, the roles that you've played, the villain that you've played, the protagonist, like and you see it all. Yeah. And it's always with the most closest relationships, right? It's like your parents, your siblings, like everything. Totally. And then being able to sit there and be like, oh, this is why this happened, and you start to connect the dots. And then and I think people have two choices at that point. You can either sit there and be like, oh, I'm a victim. Yeah. Or I can see the roles that I've played because of these feelings and thoughts. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And it's hard to come out of it.
It's really hard. And I was talking about this with somebody yesterday where it's like you can get stuck in the inner work part of things where you're just like going through your past, going through your upbringing, going through your patterns. And that's important, I think, to get awareness. But a lot of people get really stuck there. Yeah. And it's super important to turn your attention towards like, who do I want to be? Like, what is a life that I want to create? Because being a victim, meaning blaming who you are and the way you act on your past, is being a victim is
Right.
really fucking convenient. Because
Very.
you never really have to take ownership
Totally.
over creating something new.
Yep.
That's the easy way out.
Yeah, 100%. So when you went through this, this is when you sat with yourself and you were like, okay, what I want to know what was that conscious, I don't think I've asked you this before. What was the thing in your brain that was like, okay, I have to shut down these programs? Because I remember when you said you were going to do that and I was like, and you said you were going to, and I was like, she's not going to do that. That's stupid. In my head. And then she did it.
I mean.
And then she did it. And I was like, oh my God. So for the record, you guys, Christina and I have known each other. It was one of the questions that everybody asked. Christina and I have known each other for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
We're going on 9.
Yeah.
We should have a 10-year anniversary.
We should.
I don't remember when.
It's
Around
crazy.
what time. It is
the amount of chapters
we have seen each other through is wild. And we'll touch on that for sure because people ask questions. But so when you said to me, okay, I'm going to shut down this $13 million business, into my brain, and you and I see money the same way. Money comes and goes. It is what it is. We don't see value. I mean, we understand the value of money, but it's not the thing that's what drives us anymore.
Yeah.
Which I think is a big factor as well when you had that ego death.
Oh my God, my relationship with money's changed so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I think okay, I thank God every day that I'm like this. I don't really fear jumping off the cliff.
Yeah.
Because I think that for both of us, we've built enough evidence to know that I will be okay.
Yeah.
And I will figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think that you reach a point when something in your life or your business is just really not working, whether it's a relationship, whatever, where it's you just kind of ignore it. You kind of ignore it. You're maybe if I tweak this little thing or just stop looking at this one thing, it'll be fine. It never is fine. At some point, and it just kept the feeling of unalignment, misalignment, just kept itching at me, and I was this is not it. So it sounds dramatic to burn it all down, but I do think that when you reach a place in your life where it's just not working, it's so refreshing to just
totally.
Start over.
Yeah.
I let go of most of my team.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that too.
Everything is new.
Yeah.
But it's really freeing because then you're I can start over.
On a white canvas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, it's beautiful.
Exactly.
So beautiful.
And then, but the scary part was where it's the old you died, but you don't know who the new one is. At that point, a year ago, when I retired these courses, I did not know what I wanted to do next.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yep.
And that is the terrifying part. Because I was okay, I'm jumping off the cliff, but what the fuck am I jumping into?
Yeah.
What's next? So then I spent the next year really figuring that out. I call it following the breadcrumbs of excitement and breadcrumbs of curiosity, being oh, this
feels
seems
good.
fun. Let me try that. Let me try coaching. Let me try low ticket. Let me, take this Reiki thing. Let me just
Play
see who
around.
I am. Because I think when you go through a process of an ego death, you actually don't know who you are. Because when your ego dissolves and your entire identity, as 99.99% of everybody's identity is ego, then you reach a place where you're who am I? What drives me?
Yeah.
And it's terrifying.
Yeah, it is so terrifying.
Yeah.
It's also interesting when you have to make your own choices. I don't know if you felt like this, when I feel I've had multiple times in my life where I've realized okay, especially over the last 5 years of my life, where I've realized how much of who I am or what I created for myself was based on other people's projections and how much work I've done with my family and everything that happened with my brother and you've seen me behind the scenes of that work. And I remember when I realized the characters in this role that I was playing and being oh, that idea actually didn't come from me. And it's not necessarily a wrong, but it's not a great one and I don't like it. So, but what do I want? Even the whole career thing, even the whole money thing, family thing, the way I view family and the way I want religion is huge. And so just coming to that realization of oh, you get to decide what you want for yourself is actually pretty intimidating.
It is. And a lot of people get really held back from that too, I think, because of family. And I've been very lucky that my parents have always supported me doing whatever I want.
Yeah. Okay, tell us how money has changed for you.
Oh my God, money has changed so much for me. Okay, yeah, money very important to me.
Yes,
money always, but money was very important to me before.
Yeah.
Important in the sense of like I got a lot of my value from how much I was making. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I tied my value and my self-worth from it.
I can relate.
And I didn't really realize how much I did until business started to slow down and I because I didn't, then, you know, you make less money, you realize how much of your identity is tied to it. It was like
a slap in the
bottoming
face.
out.
Yeah.
Then money became not important at all. I literally for a while was like, I'm going to live in a hut in Bali and like be a Reiki master. That's literally what I thought for about 4 months. I was like, I don't need money. I can live in the clouds. I was deep in my awakening. I was like that. And I would see people like,
but I think that's great.
I know. But then it becomes like, I went through a period where, you know, people would buy like Birkin bags and I'm just like, oh my God, like who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
But even that has so much ego behind it too, like judging that, whatever. So anyway, money wasn't important at all. Thought I was going to live in a hut. And then now in the last 6 months, money's become obviously important to me again. Not as important as it was before in the sense that I don't tie my value and self-worth to it.
Yeah.
The only reason I want to make more money is to have more freedom, which is my core value, and to have more choice. And that's it. I don't care about flexing like bags or like any of that shit. Basically, it's kind of like this strange experience for the first time in my life of really not being impacted by anything outside of myself.
Yeah.
And that's really beautiful because it's helped me in relationships.
Totally.
It's helped me in everything.
I've always had that part of you though, like, and I think we both have it, like because we've traveled so much. And like to us, like it's never been about the material aspect. No. For sure from the inner parts, like I remember when my business was just doing so freaking bad.
Yeah.
And I lost all of it. I went from, the 100 to like literally 0. And I was like, what's wrong with me?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And just seeing that and realizing, oh, I was tying my success to that. I was tying the value of what I had to that.
Totally.
Yeah. And I agree with you so much that it's not so much about the material aspect. It's more so having the time and freedom to do whatever you want. That's and there's nothing more rewarding and more beautiful.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it changes dating too. I've noticed because before like 3 or 4 years ago, my Hinge profile was like a LinkedIn profile. Like I was like, I've been featured in CNN and Bloomberg. I'm like, why the fuck does a guy care about this?
Yeah.
Like so much of my value in a relationship, I was leading with like the things that I'd achieved and the money I was making.
Yeah.
And now I don't want to say I hide it, but it's in the background.
Yeah.
Like it's
a bonus.
Yeah. It's more
but
of like my
core.
value of dating me is my presence and the safety that I bring to a man and my ability to make him feel like a man, you know, not like any of this other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's made, I think I'm attracting better people because of that.
Yeah. I was listening to the interview with Maggie Sellers and Molly Sims. It just came out like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Molly Sims was like, I dated a guy who like living in a trailer and like I told him that I loved this trailer and that I loved Heineken. She's like, I fucking hate Heineken and I do not
literally the shape shifting is wild. Yeah, the shape shifting is wild.
She's like, I do not. She's like, you should date a man with your same money values and like the way you look at things and you should not be ashamed for that. And I was like, yes girl, go.
Totally. Because the shape shifting is crazy sometimes.
She's like, I do not want to live in a trailer. I was like, no.
It could have been me a year ago, me in a hut with a trailer. I'm glad I didn't date during my spiritual awakening. I would have ended up with like, dude.
You would have ended up in a hut.
I would have ended up in a hut with like a guy with dreadlocks.
Oh, gross.
Doing like energy work on me. I'm so glad. Don't date during your spiritual awakening. Let that shit integrate and then you can date. That's my rule.
Oh my God. Do you know what this brings me back to?
For me.
The tree house in Mexico.
Oh my God. Do we want to tell that story?
I think we should because somebody asked, what's your favorite like memory?
So that's your favorite memory?
No. So somebody asked, they said, what's your favorite memory of our friendship?
Oh.
And I was like, that's a really cute question. And then like, what's the one that was like the most transitional?
Okay, let's do the funniest.
Yeah.
You start.
Okay, I think our friendship crossed the threshold there.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so Christina and I are in
Mexico.
Because
we were friends, but we weren't like super close at this point, or we were?
No, I think we were. It was 2021.
We were. I think it just took it to the next level.
Yeah, this crossed over.
Yeah.
I literally shit my pants. So Christina and I were staying in this hotel in Tulum, and it was a tree house. Okay, like a literal treehouse. And I don't think we knew to the extent of the treehouse.
It was high.
And it was very high, so you had to climb 1,000 steps to get up there.
It was like a 10-story
But it was
treehouse.
a 10-story treehouse. You had to take a shower like on the balcony and everything. And then it was just a 1-bedroom.
Yeah.
It was just like me and Christina had to share a bed, which is fine. Then the bathroom was a whole other thing, and there was no like actual walls. So I get stomach bug. And I bug. And I like literally, there's no other way to say it. Like I was shitting my pants.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Liquid.
So weird. Christina wakes up in the middle of the night and I'm like on the toilet. And she's like, Jen, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm fucking dying.
And then the worst part was she wanted like sparkling water and they wouldn't do room service to the treehouse, which I didn't know there was no room service to the treehouse. Wouldn't fucking book that.
So I got on the phone with the guy and I'm like, I will go to the kitchen, but I'm going to ship my way from the treehouse to the kitchen.
And they brought it up, right? Yeah. Oh my God. So funny.
But our friendship crossed a new threshold there.
For sure. That was a good one.
Because Christina was like, are you alive and well? And I'm like,
so funny. When you listen to somebody having diarrhea, that's like, that's a new level of friendship. That's a new level of friendship. Oh my God. It's so funny. Most transitional? I think it's really beautiful when oftentimes I have friendships where it's like just for a specific season.
Yeah.
Where like we're in we're together for a bit because it makes sense.
Right.
But I feel like we have been through not only so many different chapters of like who we are individually, we've also navigated like living across the country from each other and like feeling a bit of separation in that, but then coming back together.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what's so beautiful about our friendship is that it's evolved, it's supported through different chapters.
Yep.
And I think it's also really rare. Brooke did a video about this the other day, our friend, to have friends that like equally can support you at your bottom and also at the top.
Yeah.
Because it's like sometimes when you're at the bottom and you're struggling, it's easier for people.
Yep.
Yeah. But when you start to rise and you have successes, then it's harder for them to support you. And I feel like both of us are good about
both of them. Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. What is a pobrecito? A pobrecito is a guy who doesn't have the emotional intelligence, the whereabouts of his life, and like wants one thing but does another. Yeah. And he doesn't see it.
No.
Like he's glasses.
Yeah.
And he's got 20/20 contacts vision in, but like he doesn't actually see it.
A pobrecito fumbles.
Ooh.
And then you watch him fumbling and you're like, oh, pobrecito.
Yes.
Oh, you lost.
Yes. That's viral right there.
Pobrecito. Like when certain things happen with guys who are dating, we're like, oh, pobrecito. Rest in peace.
I remember I told you about my ick list. I think it's going to be a pobrecito list.
Pobrecito list.
Yeah, I used to have an ick list when I dated guys of like the things that would turn me off about them. And then I told Christina about it. She's like, oh my God, that's genius. And now it's just a pobrecito list.
Pobrecito list.
He fumbled the ball.
You start dating a guy and you're like, okay, you got this, sweetie.
Yeah, you can do this.
Oh, pobrecito. It's so fucked.
It is.
We're waiting for it. We're going to find a man, though. We're going to find a man.
Yeah.
A man is the opposite of a pobrecito.
Yes.
Yeah. Un hombre.
Un hombre. I love the Spanish, Christine. Wait, out of our years of friendship, how do you think your Spanish has improved? Do you want to tell
I don't think it has at all, to be honest. I don't think it has.
No.
No.
It has. No, wait, what was it that you said that one time?
I'm getting no practice. My Spanish, I don't know. It's not
You
good.
understand, though.
I understand.
If I speak slow, you understand.
Yeah, because her Spanish, she's Cuban. And if you picture 10 words together, Cuban Spanish is this. And then just like cutting off shit for no reason and just stuffing it together.
How's your Italian?
Oh, no, it's not good.
I know, but I want you to learn Italian so you could teach me Italian.
Why? There's only one country that speaks Italian.
I know, but I like Italian. I like that.
Spanish is way more useful. Way more useful.
Okay, rapid fire. Ready? Oh my, no, it'll be fun. Don't worry. Last place you traveled, best memory.
Costa Rica. To be honest, it was this giant bug that came into our house, and watching Micah and my friends Micah and Dan like scream like little boys and try to kill the bug. That's a weird favorite memory of a pobrecitos.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, next trip.
Bali.
I'm excited. Okay. Travel hack. Give your best travel hack.
VPN for booking flights. Like put your location in a third world country, and then you can sometimes get a cheaper flight. And I'm going to do this. My friend Dan has an app called Repriced.
Yes.
And when you book, it connects to your email. So if the flight fare drops, it'll refund you the difference.
And which
I really love. It has refunded me like $300 on my summer travels, which is pretty good.
That is Awesome.
I know.
All right, Dan. Shout out, sponsor.
Yeah.
Tell them, give
exactly.
a little
I'll send you
plug
an
there.
invoice.
All right. We end this podcast. Obviously, the name of this podcast is What She Needed. There's a version of you at some point that needed to hear what you know now. What would you tell her?
Oh my God. I would say that the thing that people avoid the most is sitting with themselves and stopping like the busying, distracting, all of that stuff, numbing and social media and busyness and all this stuff. People avoid that because when they are silent with themselves, it can be uncomfortable with like thoughts and feelings that come up. But I think that that's a portal to your highest potential. And it's only when you're silent with yourself when you can listen to those answers of where you should go, what's not working, and transmuting that shadow into light is ultimately like the best thing that you could do for yourself. And it strengthens your intuition.
I love that.
It's the best.
So you wish you would have told her that, a younger version of you that.
Yeah, to stop avoiding and stop running. Because the things that you're avoiding and running from are the portals to your highest potential.
I would agree with that. That's beautiful. Thank you. Snap, snap. Okay. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Christina Galbato on all platforms.
Yep. And what's next for you, Missy?
What's next for me is that I'm launching a membership called The Conscious Creator. And
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's a membership for heart-led, impact-driven women that are using social media as a vehicle to create impact. So it's going to help with social media strategy and also the inner work of getting out of your way with visibility blocks, fear of being seen, etc.
Okay. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here. I love
This
you.
is fun.
This
I love
is
you
so
too.
fun.
This is great.
Mwah.
Love you. This is so good.
That was a wrap.
Yay!